friends, myself Veena and welcome you to File Structure Laboratory with Mini Project. The course code is 15ISL68. Today, let us discuss Program 8. Write a program to read k lists of names and merge them using k-way merge algorithm with k is equal to 8. K is equal to 8 here means that we are going to create 8 files or 8 lists where each list should have some input. First, let us discuss how to create the lists. So here is a object S of type scanner. Since in our program it's been mentioned as number of files or number of lists to be considered as 8, we're going to use a for loop which runs from I is equal to 1 to 8. For each value of I, we are going to open the file in write-only mode and we are going to ask the user to enter the names into each file or list. Whenever the user enters hash, it terminates the list. Until then, user can go on entering the data into that particular list or a file. So we are going to accept the data from the user, store it in S1. Check if not of S1 equals to hash. Whenever S1 becomes equal to hash, we are going to terminate the list or the file. So if it is not equal to hash, then we are going to write into the file pw and we are going to ask the user to enter the next line of input that has to be entered into the file 1 or list 1. Again check if not of S1 equals to hash. If yes, again we are going to write the data to the file. Again ask the user to enter the data. This process will be repeated until the user presses hash to indicate end of list 1. And we are going to flush whatever the data that is present in the scene so that the complete data will be pushed onto the file. Finally, we are going to close our file which we have opened in write-only mode, that is pw.close. Again, this particular for loop will get incremented. Again, the same process will start for the file 2 or the list 2. So this process will be continued until I reaches value 8. At the end of this particular function, we will be having 8 files or 8 lists having some data that is being entered by the user. Finally, we are going to close the scanner function. Now let us see how to merge the data present in all the different files or all the different lists. Here, to merge the files, we are going to use an array list. mlist is an object of type array list. Next, after creating an array list, we are going to run our for loop starting from I is equal to 1 to 8. For each value of I, we are going to open the file or list. Each list we are going to open here. After opening each list, we are going to read a line of text from each list. Check if it is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, we are going to add that particular line to this mlist, which is an array list. So this process will be continued for all the lists that are present, that is all the 8 lists. At the end of this particular function, mlist will contain all the names that were present in all 8 different lists or 8 different files. Now, basically we need to sort this particular data that is present in mlist. To sort the data present in the mlist, we are going to use a collection.sort inbuilt function or inbuilt class in order to sort the data present in the mlist. Now we are going to open another file in write-only mode whose name is mergelist.txt. We are going to read each line from mlist at a time into a line variable, write that into the file that is pw, which is nothing but our mergelist.txt. So this process will be continued until all the names that are present in mlist are being returned to the file pw. Next is the display function. In the display function, we are going to open the file mergelist.txt which contains the sorted list of data. So from this particular file, we are going to read each line at a time from this particular file and check if that line is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, we are going to display that particular line onto the screen. That's all for today's session. Thank you. Now let us see how to execute this particular program, basically the demonstration of the program. Here we have written a main function, and M is an object that we have created. We are going to invoke three functions: create function, merge files, and display. So now here we have written a function called as create function. In the create function, we are going to create 8 different lists, and we are going to enter the data into each list here. Next, in the merge function, we are going to merge the data present in different lists into a single list using an array list. And we are going to sort the data present in that particular single list using collection.sort. Once the sorted data is present in M list, we are going to copy the data from M list and we are going to place it in the merge list. And finally, the display function. In the display function, we are going to access the data from merge.list.txt and we are going to display it to the user. Now let us see the execution of this particular program. So click on run. So it's asking enter the names in list 1, enter hash to terminate the list. So let me consider I'm going to give the names as something like AAA and BBB for this list. To terminate this list, we are going to give the hash symbol. To terminate the list, we are going to give the hash symbol as symbol. Now it has terminated. Now it's asking the user to enter the data into list 2. Let me give the data into list 2 as GDD, and I want to terminate this. Again, press hash symbol. Similarly, I need to enter the data into list 3. So let me tell I'm going to enter the data as RR and TT. To terminate this, press hash. Similarly, now we need to enter the data into list 4. So let me enter the data as H. I want to terminate this, press hash. Similarly, we need to enter the data. Let me give it as JJ and terminate it. Similarly, I'm going to give the data into this as something KK and same thing LL. Terminate this using hash symbol. Similarly, enter the names into the list 7. Let me tell it is BB and I want to terminate it using hash symbol. Next, enter the data into this list 8. I'll give it as 88. I'll terminate it. Now here you can see the merge list is having all the names whatever we have entered into the different lists. All the names are being sorted, are being displayed in the sorted order, and it is being displayed onto the screen. One copy of the same data will be present in the file called as mergelist.txt also. That's all for today's session. Thank you.